and welcome everybody back once again to World of Racing. We're back for the MX-5 leagues. It's season 2, everybody, and round 1. You know what that means. A fresh slate, a fresh championship, and some fresh names to talk about as well. Of course, we also have the returning names in the championship, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later. But before we get into that, I'm Mike Noss. Joined alongside me, unfortunately, is no one tonight. I couldn't quite find anybody else, so it'll be just myself rambling on for this one. But of course, next week, we'll be back to your regularly scheduled programs with Jackson Lambros. Now, with that being said, folks, we get into round 1, and this, of course, being the creme de la creme. We talk about our previous championship as well that just came to a conclusion a few weeks ago. Daniel on top with David behind, third place belonging to Josh, and Ahmad, Mr. Consistent, in fourth. Of course, just missing out there on the top 3. Lee also bringing home a 5th place in the championship as well. Now, Daniel also racing. I think David out there on track tonight coming up bridesmaids, and he's currently, when we hop down into qualifying, also coming up bridesmaids. So he's hopefully going to be able to put a little bit of an end to that and a damper. But before we get into that here tonight, folks, I just want to have a warm welcome to absolutely everyone joining us. Hope everyone is having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. We're here, of course, down in Pasadena, as well as in Tustin. If you are down in the Southern California area, the premier sim racing location, with, of course, the full-on Sigma Intergale motion simulators on top of some top-of-the-line equipment that you yourself can take on. And from coaching, from driving just a couple track days, or just getting out there for an endurance session, or even members nights like we're going to be having tonight, World of Racing is your place. It has a little bit of something for everybody, and I highly recommend checking it out. Also, if you're in Kansas City, Kansas as well, of course, but they are not going to be racing with us tonight, unfortunately. This will be down to the 2 California locations, Tustin and Pasadena. Now, folks, with that being said and the introductions being introduced, let's head down to the track. As we get down to it here, we can see the wonderful little MX-5s that could, or otherwise known as, of course, the little rocket ships. These cars are not the fastest, 0 to 60 in about 3 to 5 business days with a little 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, but my goodness, are they fun. And especially here in Braselton, Georgia, which is where we are going to be driving on track here tonight in Road Atlanta. We get to see what these drivers got. Currently, on top, Ali. Behind Timothy, Bradley in third right now, Jacob, Mark, and Mike, not myself, Mike, other Mike, because that's not confusing enough. Currently, sitting down in 7th, Ray 8th, Dylan 9th, David in 10th right now, and off in pit lane. So we're only seeing half the drivers out on track right now. I'm assuming that we will see them back out shortly enough. Jacob with a bit of a tank slapper there, and that's going to be his qualifying done, and not qualifying done and dusted, but that will be his first part of qualifying done. He'll have to go back in for a new set of boots and go and throw that car around just a few more times. This is what it looks like, of course, on board with the MX-5s. Currently riding along with Mark, a 1:46.2 is the time to beat for him. Getting behind the wheel of the driver there. 3rd gear through the bottom of the hill. On the way through turns 6 and 7. And now back down towards turn 8. Blink and you miss it. There it goes. And all the way down towards turns 10A and B. There's 2 technically turns on this straight, which, come on, let's be real, these aren't fully turns. This being turn 9 that we're about to be coming into. You turn the wheel just a slight little bit and bam, you're done. Now, the chicane, the real meat and potatoes. This is where you're going to see some overtakes happening down into the braking zone here of turns 10A. Clip the apex there, and then into 10B. Nice line onto the exit. Got cars driving over the top of the track. Apparently there's a road there. And on the way through the final corner complex, through 11 and 12 into the line, there's no improvement yet for Mark, but he's going to continue on flying along here and trying to set the best he can. We'll join in with him a little bit later. Road Atlanta, of course, coming to be quite a few years ago, but Braselton as well. Why don't we talk the history of this location? As everyone thinks Road Atlanta is in Atlanta. No, it's not. Believe it or not, it is in Braselton, Georgia. The area settled back in 1876 and named after the William Harrison Braselton, of Hall Country, Georgia. They purchased approximately 800 acres of land, and from there, well, called it Brazelton. Shocker. A town in America that was named after some people. This track, though, established back in 1998 in Chevy... No, that's when the Petit Le Mans started, excuse me, in 1998. Track being a little older than that. It used to be called the Goat Track because of how rough it was, but it has since been repaved, unlike some of its American counterparts, be it Sebring. Jacob, you can see just ahead in that number 58. Currently just rolling down towards the back. He's 3 seconds currently, or just under 3 seconds quicker than Mark, but still, with that being said, 2 and a bit seconds off of Timothy. So in a bit of no man's land right now for Jacob. Just has to string something together here. The mid-sector's not looking too particularly good according to the timing tower, but that could mean anything. Through the final corners, to the line, no improvement. 146.1. Got to do a little better. Mark finding an improvement there. Nicely done up into the 42, so he managed to find a healthy chunk of time and now is ahead of Jacob, and Jacob veering off into the side lines and exiting stage left. Timothy a little further ahead. Andreas, man that we know very well. Oh, and Hayden just sneaking up there with a 142.9. Fairly average pace, it seems, for right now. The only real couple drivers in the 42s, though, Hayden and Mark, and that is a little overcooked. Almost managed to save it, but not quite. Timothy, one of the next to the line. Looking down the barrel of the chicane. Big liftoff before we got to the braking zone there. Really prioritizing the slow in, fast out. Misses the first apex, misses the second apex. Manages to keep it all 4 planted on track, though. Through turn, well, the final corner complex. It's all 1 turn, really, but 2 corners in reality. To the line with a 140.6. That's going to be still enough for 4th. No improvement in positions, just on time. Bradley, one of the next to the line as well. Let's see, Mark will be the next. And going along with Mark here, get the nice speed perspective of how, well, that didn't sound particularly great through the gears. Not sure this is going to be the fastest lap from Mark. Might just be setting up for the next one. Getting a great exit onto the start-finish straight. It's a 145.8. That is certainly not representative of the times that we've seen from Mark thus far. What does Bradley have as he comes to the line? A 140.3. No, 141.2. Still keeping that 140.3. Andreas still out on track. And so is Ali. Ali looking like they are going to remain the pole sitter for now. It's going to be quite difficult to dethrone the king. And as Andreas here comes to the line, are we going to see any improvement whatsoever? Or is it going to be enough to find first? We do see a slight improvement, 139.5 there, just a couple of tenths gaining their way through the markers. Now Bradley, one of the next drivers, but they are going to be a little further back on the track. It's Timothy to the line next here into the final quarter complex himself. Track temp looking nice and warm, 25 degrees Celsius, 36 degree track temp. Should be no issue getting the heat into the tires, and Timothy, no issue putting the heat on the competition, a 140.1. That's enough for 3rd. Bradley, what do we have for a response? Sub Mark, still in contention. And it looks like now more drivers being visible on track. Ray, Jacob, Brian, needing to find a little bit more pace. And Mark practicing his... No, that's not a pit entry. Is it a pit entry? No, that is not. Just a camera angle playing tricks on my eyes. Mark, no improvement. Next to the line was Bradley, and Bradley managed to smash his way into the 39s there with a 39.4 up to 2nd position with that effort. And we see plenty of cars joining the track and that causing a bit of chaos and confusion for some. Lee is Muse out on track. Interesting. Welcome, Lee Muse. Or Lee, of course. Glad to see you in chat. FYI, this is Lee. I wouldn't have guessed that, Lee. No worries. Glad to see you again. Of course, one of the drivers that I had the pleasure of meeting when I was down in Tustin. So big shout out there to Lee. He's Mr. Muse out on track. Lee sitting in 13th position right now with a 145.4. And he's going to be in a bit of traffic right now. So needing to find his way in a bit of clean air. There's a nice gap if he does fall back a few positions. And by that I mean, well, about 4. But then that'd give him a bit of clean air. Not really worried about drivers around him. You want to find the biggest spot on track. Look at that big window. You can't see my mouse cursor, but in the background there. This will be a tough one. This whole pack of drivers, starting off with what looks to be not Jacob, one of the 58s. Brian, yeah. No, that's not. Brian's in the back. Mark? Yeah, Mark. There we go. Everybody picking the 58 car. It's a nice looking livery, gotta say. This, though, not the nicest looking thing I've ever seen on the planet. Exit stage left, Mark? Was that Mark giving a slingshot there to one of the other 58s out on track? Is that Dylan? It looks like that is Dylan. Dylan wringing the neck of that car through the first chicanes. Chicanes, S's, whatever you want to call them. Why don't we ride on along with him? I think if anyone has a chance to set pole, it is going to be Dylan. You can see what it's like behind the wheel of this MX-5. Probably one of the worst times to go on board, as we're about to have a long straight after this, but hey. Chuck it in to the bottom of the hill. Get on the loud pedal nice and early, but now it's a big liftoff and a downshift again. Riding that 4th gear? Looks to be 3rd gear. There we go. 4th gear now, climbing the gears. And on the way down to the braking zone. It's a long ways. Again, these cars, not the fastest when it comes to their 0 to 60, but my goodness, do they try. These cars certainly much more mechanically inclined in terms of that invisible mumbo-jumbo downforce. None of that to help them into the braking zones, and look at how late they brake as well. This time a little too late for Dylan. Nice and tidy, though. Kept it under wraps. I'm not sure he's going to be finding an improvement. This will be difficult at this point. But Dylan, through the final corners and to the line, it's a 140.4, 0.2 slower. Certainly the chicane not helping on this go-around. Got a nice little pack of cars here as well. Andreas involved with that. He needs to find some clean air if he wants to best Ollie. And Josh, look at that. Up in a 4th. Where's Daniel at? Where's Daniel? He's not in this. There he is, 8th. I'm blind. Our previous champion, the MX-5 Season 1 champion, Daniel. 9th fastest. That's all he can muster right now. His rival. Where is David? I thought I saw David. There he is, right in front of him. They're right next to each other, as they should be. But the competition's stiffening up a little bit, it seems, on these early stages. Ali only finishing in 21st last time, and that's mainly due to the fact that he only finished in 1 race, or scored points at least in 1 race. So hopefully we see them a bit more in this championship. Ali always bringing on a show. And the checkered flag now out. We see these drivers finishing up their final lap. Any driver that was previously on a lap should be able to complete it. Any driver that wasn't will not be able to start one. Timothy and Andreas and Bradley, they're done. 139s, that's all they can get. What does David have? The previous runner-up to the MX-5 championship. He's got enough for 5th. Into the 159s as well. We got quite the battle up front right now. It looks like it's going to be unfolding. Josh is not going to be improving. There's no way. He's stuck in traffic, and he's stuck to the bumper of not just one, but multiple MX-5s right now. Never going to be helping his lap times through the final corners. He's going to give it a best effort, but frustration is going to be the feeling left at the end of qualifying for Josh. third place finisher in the previous MX-5 championship. 7th is all he can muster in the first qualifying. Ahmad, P4 finisher, Mr. Consistent. Can he find any time? He does, into the 39s. 39.582, just behind David and just ahead of Dylan. Keep in mind, folks, the blink of an eye, 0.2 of a second. That's 0.2. Ollie doesn't really need to improve here, and he doesn't. 39.0, still faster than everybody else. Mike, a fellow Mike. What do we have here? A little racing as well. Racing and qualifying, not what you want to see. 2 seconds off the ball. No improvement for Mike. And that's qualifying done and dusted here. Ali, your pole sitter. Timothy, running in second. Andreas third. Bradley fourth. David, coming up fifth with Ahmad in sixth. Daniel, Dylan, not Daniel, my goodness. Dylan in seventh. Josh, eighth. Vincent in ninth. And Daniel rounding out your top 10. Lee, 11th right now with Mike in 12th. Mark, 13th. Jacob down in 14th. Hayden coming up 15th fastest with Ray behind him in P16. Brian 17th. Frankie 18th. Sean 19th. And Ethan last but certainly not least. Hey, look, that's another Mike. That's me. Now, qualifying done. A big warm welcome to everybody down at World of Racing. I hope you all are enjoying this. I hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. If you're watching down in Pasadena, if you're watching down in Tustin, give us a shout. Let us know. Which one are you from right now? And if you aren't from either one of those locations, well... Wait, what? Okay, we're... anyways, as we figure out what is going on here, thank you to everybody that is joining us no matter where you are in the world. Quali has restarted. I'm assuming that we are going to push the session here as we're just going and messaging. Get a little bit of race running, and it looks like everybody, well, going line astern. This is a ode of what's to come. These MX-5s are racy. We saw that in the previous championships. Road Atlanta, a great track for them. Not the longest track, not the shortest track, but some decent overtaking opportunities through and through. Now, as the cars continue around the track, this here being the second quali session. I'm not sure if this is live. I mean, it is live. You're watching live here on World of Racing. If you are enjoying, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are watching on YouTube, it's free to do here, so we thank you. We just recently got up to 100 and nearly 20 subscribers. We passed the 100 mark not too long ago here on the World of Racing YouTube channel. So help us grow the community, folks, and grow the future of sim racing. World of Racing, folks. Okay, this is, I'm getting confirmed, another quali. Okay, this is a second quali. So the previous quali was a practice session. The drivers, nice and warmed up now. I tell you what, folks, we're going to take a quick break. And when we do return, we'll have 10 minutes left of quali and be getting down to the wire. Thank you all for joining us here at World of Racing. We'll be right back. And welcome back, folks, to World of Racing. We've just been watching the cars around this lovely track located in Braselton, Georgia, otherwise known as, of course, Road Atlanta. This is the second wave of qualifying after a little bit of internet issues plagued the Tustin location, and we had to re-rack them, restack them, and try it again. Now, what this has allowed is a much, much tighter field. Look at the times right now. I was almost thinking that Ali was going to have a run for his money there early on in the quali, down in fourth, but he has managed to get back into the 138s, but he's not alone now. Daniel has managed to find his way into the top two, and keep in mind, this is our previous champion, folks, so if there's anybody that has a shot here tonight, it's certainly going to be this number 71. David, almost into the 38s, a blink of an eye off the time of Daniel. And there's a mod not having as much luck in this session. He managed a 39.5 in the previous quali, not so much in this attempt, getting past there down the straight. We're going to be seeing quite a bit of that. And this being Dylan, another driver that's gotten quite hung out to dry after the quali session. Still, though, with 8.5 minutes left to go, plenty of time to find a lap, and looking at Dylan right now, he's looking quite racy, and he's looking like he wants to find P2. Look at that, into the 38s himself. And Ahmad, where did he end up after that? 8th. So he did find the 139s. Won't be getting impeded too much by Dylan, but he is thinking about having a go. Not sure that's the wisest thing in qualifying. More drivers, though, into the 38s is always welcome. What do we have going on here? Oh, my goodness. Ahmad getting the overtake done in quali. And Dylan, well, not going to be improving on this attempt, that's for sure. Vincent, sort of stuck in the middle with everybody, and that's his current situation on track as well. 8th place for the 139.5. So many more drivers into the 39s now. This is going to allow for some quite tight pack racing. I don't suspect the leaders to pull away by much, and I really don't expect 3rd through practically 11th to go too far away either. Even Mike, only 3/10 off the back of Lee. Vincent, getting a move done in qualifying. Again, not what you want, but hey, you make the best of a bad situation, and if that's going to help your lap time, well, that's going to help your lap time. Vincent now has some clean air to work with. Currently on the back part of the track now, down to the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Come back around to the back, not so straight. Our pole sitter, Ali, currently coming through the, into the final corner complex here relatively shortly, and has somebody on their tail. That's not quite what they want right now. But Ollie making the best of it as well. Nice line there through the chicane onto the final quarter complex now. Turns 11 and 12. Into the line. No improvement. Wait, it didn't. Well, no improvement. It was Dylan bending it into the wall. He was on a poor lap anyways, so nothing to really be too upset about. He'll get another shot with 6 minutes left to go. Now Daniel getting held up a little bit. Not where he wants. Timothy, one of the other number 23 cars. Talk about some of the new names, though, that we have in the lobby. I don't recognize Ethan. And looking at the previous championship, I think I'm correct. Ethan, one of the new names. Sean, definitely one of the new names out there as well. Hayden, I think, yes, is a new name. I don't see Hayden on the previous list. Jacob, a returning member, so welcome back, Jacob. Love to see you out. Oh my. Don't love to see that, but also love to see Jacob. Brian on track. I think that's a new name to the list. Yes, looks to be. Swear I remember that name, but Frankie, new. Mark, returning. Ray, I think also another new name. Mike, assuming this is the Mike that I met when I was down in Tustin, they're back. Lee, of course, returning. Ahmad returning. Vincent returning. And pretty much everybody above that a returning member. What the heck? What do we got going on here? It's a knife fight in a phone booth in qualifying right now. A pack of buzzing bees trying to all decide who's going to come out ahead. Ollie says, I'm the man on top. Everybody else saying, I'm not so sure about that. Whoa, and a big tank slapper for the car behind, and somehow they managed to wrangle it back. But like Icarus, they flew a little too close to the sun. Who that was, I'm not completely sure, but it is irrelevant. Their lap time not going to be improving on this attempt. We're down to the wire, and it looks like everybody's internet has managed to stay under wraps. No issues this time. That's why we had that big gap in qualifying of a lot of drivers not coming out on track, I'm assuming. So now that that is done, dusted, and over with, we can resume our regularly scheduled program. Now, of course, with the new names that we have joining the members' nights, don't be surprised that we see some of them down the order. One thing you gotta remember, folks, is this is not just like getting on your sim at home. These are the full-on Sigma Intergale motion simulators, and my goodness, are they a visceral experience. And I don't say that lightly. When you go down a hill, it feels like you're going down a hill through the corners. You don't quite feel the G-force, but you certainly feel all the little bumps, all the little undulations, and everything that your car is doing. This is different when it comes to the control, and it feels different. You go into a corner and brake, and it feels like your wheel is pulling you to the side. So it's a little bit of a learning curve at first for these new members, I'm assuming. And once they get the hang of it, they'll be right in the mix. Of course, some of these returning veterans with the MX-5s, they've been around the block 10 rounds in the previous championship, so there's no... I mean, obviously, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage. As this championship continues, though, field will equalize out. We'll be seeing Frankie into the 39s. We'll be seeing Brian, Jacob, Hayden. All of these drivers, again, just getting used to that equipment to a certain extent. And once they do, they'll be able to fire these cars around the track quicker than a quick thing in Quicksville. So a big warm welcome to every new member that's joining us here for the MX-5 League. Of course, memberships right now, I think, don't quote me on this if you're watching this later especially, but I noticed there were some summer deals on the World of Racing Instagram, so if you're looking at some really good opportunities, head on over to their socials, follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook. You can find some killer deals over there, and for, again, it's just some very reasonable prices. There's nothing like this, folks, out there when it comes to the actual experience that you get. I highly recommend checking it out. Brian, what do we got? Probably not much of an improvement, I would imagine, after sliding around like a dog on a freshly finished hardwood floor, and, no. Well, there is actually. There is an improvement, just not enough for a position. Ray, one of the next drivers. We also have Andreas. No, number 6, something. There we go, Timothy. Weaving around, so he's not on a lap right now. Definitely just getting heat into the tires for their out lap. Next up, Vincent behind, is that Mike? No. Behind the 12 of some form. In fact, there we go. Ray, that's who it is. 13th. Next to the line here, with 49 seconds in qualifying to go. So this will be the final attempt for Ray coming up. It's 141.0, so does find some time, but not enough for a position. Mike stranded in the grass having a picnic. I'd love to do that right now out in Braselton. The weather probably lovely down there. Just came back from Southern California myself. Wasn't down at World of Racing on this occasion. I was a little more south than that. Down in San Diego in El Centro. But just coming back from that trip, of course, last one that I did, I was down in El Centro when I commentated. So apologies for the poor quality on the last one. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Whoa, Ryan, out of nowhere, smashes the 38s wide open. It inserts himself into the top 3. David just gets 4th position there at the end. Can Dylan find anything as well? He's got a lot of track left to go and plenty of time to find Josh, one of the next up, but also Andreas. Let's see, Ali coming into the finals now. Doesn't really need to improve. Again, he's managed to stick himself on pole position, and it looks like it's going to maintain that way. Barring any miracles, I would say, out of Dylan or Josh. To the line, Ali, a 138.37. Josh, next to the line, our previous 2nd place finisher. Never mind. Wait. What am I saying? No. Josh finished in... Oh, goodness. My scroll wheel is not working. 3rd. My apologies. 3rd for our previous champion finisher, and it's 6th place in qualifying. That's all we can muster. Why won't my scroll wheel work? There we go. Dylan. Not looking too great in Sector 1 and 2. What do we got left? Sector 3. That's it. Into the final corner complex now. Is it going to be enough for Dylan? 138.816 is the time. 138.3 is the time to beat. Across the line, no improvement found. And that, folks, is going to be qualifying done and dusted. So, your results at the end. Ali, top of Daniel for 2nd. Ryan, 3rd position with David in 4th. Dylan, 5th fastest with Josh coming up in 6th. Andreas, 7th. Timothy in 8th. Bradley, 9th, and Ahmad running out your top 10. Lee in P11 with Vincent in 12th. Mike in 13th with Mark in 14th. The Mike and Marks always right next to each other. Line astern. Ray in 15th. Frankie in 16th. Sean in 17th. Brian in 18th. Hayden 19th. Jacob in 20th. And Ethan rounding at the back in 21st position. This is the grid, folks. Got cars running in the background, but look at that. Some of them on the turn. That's not going to help anybody but our front runners. Ali, your pole sitter. Daniel, alongside. This is round 1, folks, of the World of Racing MX-5 League. We're back and better than ever. Let's get into it now. 6 red lights are on. And we are green flag running for the first time here this season. It's a great start for Ollie. Daniel as well, getting a little caught out here, but he's getting a bump from behind from David. Ryan to the outside, though, and contesting for 2nd place here. It's going to be Daniel contesting for 1st, actually, down to the inside of Ollie. He's going to run his rival off the track and into the grass. David manages to pick up the scraps and continue side by side now. Ollie down into 3rd, 4th, 5th. He's dropping down the order like a stone in the Marianas Trench. Everybody having to settle as we get to the S's now, and we're green flag running. It's a tap on the back from Ryan, though. Dylan trying to make his way by, and he nearly gets his nose taken off as well. Dylan, what do you got to do with Josh here biting a hole in that carbon fiber? There's no carbon fiber. It's all fiberglass. Daniel, the one to walk away early. Ali back to 9th after starting in pole position. He's going to have to make his way through this field like Mike Tyson. The heavyweight matchup in the 90s. This is going to be a long, long race for Ali, and he's got a lot of work to do. I hear cars spun in the background. I think that's Frankie rejoining the track with Ethan there as well. Ali getting a bump draft from Andreas, another driver you expect to be further up the order. Andreas, the number 61, down in 10th, but it's dicing back and forth right now for 4th. Josh just got by Dylan. No, Dylan trying to work his way still by Josh, excuse me, so there was a little contention there, but nothing to be found just yet. Now Josh defending like a madman right now, trying his best to keep Dylan behind. Dylan trying to force his way through, and trying to find an overtake here can be like finding a specific needle in a stack of needles. Not the easiest task around here at Brazelton, but lap 1 complete. Ryan looking racy to get by David now. To the outside it's going to have to be, but the inside covered off firmly, and that's not going to be a move in. Dylan trying to change up the prospects. He's looking for gold, and he manages to punt Josh there off the track. Josh wheeling and dealing. What a save, I have to say. And that's Dylan off the track as well, so he could not recover. Dylan getting caught out there from his own mistakes as well. This is a, oh my, 3 wide just at the apex, and Dylan looks like he's beached in the grass. Get it going, mate, and he does. Just only, though. Ali, while we've been talking, has made up 4 positions. He's up into 6th now, and currently trying to get by 2 more cars. That's Ahmad and Timothy. Ahmad is absolutely left out to dry right now. There's nothing that he can do, and I don't think he really wanted to. Ahmad knows that Ali is quicker and then says, that's not my race. I'm going to be battling Timothy. And can I use Ali for my advantage? Well, not right now, because Ali is going extremely slow, getting caught out once more. Now, Ahmad needs to be strategic here. Andreas as well. Andreas needs to work with Ali. They cannot be battling right now. It's a waste of time. They can find themselves battling for a podium slot later if they don't now. And look at that. That's such intelligent decision making from Andreas. He just locks bumpers with Ali and doesn't really want to go for any move. He says, you go through, I'll follow you. We'll deal with each other later. A little mutual tip of the hat towards each other right now. Ahmad not getting that luxury, neither is Timothy. Timothy right now having a hole rubbed in that back bumper, and Ahmad really feeling the weight of the world on the top of his shoulders now, like the mythical Titan Atlas. Is he going to crumble from the pressure? To the outside goes Timothy, and no, not just yet. Is that going to show weakness, though, from Ali, or for Ali, I should say? Not yet. Not yet, indeed. Currently, though, if you're Andreas, you got the best seat in the house. Go on board with him. Look at this. This is what it looks like from the driver's eye view. The 223s going at it right now, and Ali rubbing the side panel of Timothy. Up the hill once more. That's out of shape for Ahmad. Mr. Consistent. No. Manages to exit stage left without anyone getting taken out. And Ahmad, you absolutely hate to see it. This allows Ali an opportunity to the inside of Timothy, and he is not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. He takes that one with both hands. Andreas, next up. To the inside? No, not just yet. Gonna have to settle and wait. Gets a poor exit, but so does Timothy. And this is absolutely going to be the writing on the walls unless Andreas says no. You go for the bump trap, because look at who's in the background right now. Andreas can't move to the right. Bradley has inserted himself as well. Is that Josh? No, that is Josh. Oh my goodness. Josh with the overspeed of the century, and he makes up 1 position. Is he going to make up a 2nd one now? Ali looking for moves as well. This is absolutely crazy. Bradley involved with Timothy, and Josh is the one to take it away. How he has managed that, I have absolutely no idea. Incredible racecraft, though. Now Bradley trying to get his name into this, and Andreas drops back another position. Fastest lap for Josh with a 1:39.5. He is absolutely ripping this track up. And now looking to the inside of Timothy. Very dicey spot to do it, and you don't want to be committing in the S's. That is how you end up like Ali. That's how you end up like, well, I guess insert any one of these drivers. Dylan especially, I would say, is probably the biggest victim of that type of corner. And Dylan all the way down in 16th, by the way. Ooh, a mistake from Bradley, but not too big a one to really write home about. Josh is now getting by Ali. Josh is a man on a mission right now. Ali, though, not taking no for an answer. He manages to defend. Incredible. Josh, though, not giving up, and I do see the writing being on the walls right now. It's a great exit for Josh. Ali left on the inside line, but is this going to be enough as the inside turns to the out for the second part of the chicane? And that's assuming he can even stay ahead long enough to get to the braking zone of the chicane. Josh firmly ahead before we even get there. Ali, though, still could get his nose in. He's going to try a little rubbing of the B pillars and down to the inside. Ali has to lock up the brakes, and he actually has to get out of the way of not just Josh, but Timothy, Andreas, and Bradley all for free. That's a 4-for-1 special, and you don't want to be on that receiving end. Whilst this has been going on, David and Ryan now battling for the lead. Ryan in second, David ahead. And looking to change that now is Ryan with the over-under. Gets a great exit, but we still see David contending the racing line. He holds ahead for now. Ryan getting impatient though. 12 minutes and 50 seconds left. There's so much time to be found. Why go for it now? There's no need. You're just going to draw Daniel into this battle. Just work with each other for right now and then deal with it in the later stages of the racing. I think that's wishful thinking if you're David. Ryan looks like quite the hungry hippo right now, and in the background, Daniel is going to be biding his time and licking his lips as he watches those two fight it out. Josh has got himself some breathing room ahead of Timothy. I think that's the first time I've been able to say that for a while. Timothy, though, no breathing room to the back. Andreas, welcome back to the conversation. In fact, he says, no, I'm just going to change this. Let me get by for free. And he does so. That's going to have to be Timothy slotting back into the 6th position now. And Andreas, the leader of the pack, can he do what Josh has managed to walk away? In the background, though, Bradley door banging with Timothy. We're going to go 3 wide into the chicane. What could possibly go wrong? Everybody gives, though. And the order remains? No. Timothy contests. He goes to the inside, which is going to turn to the out. This is going to give Bradley the opportunity. We're 3 wide again into the not braking zone of the final quarter complex. A big lift, and it's Andreas who was hung out to dry. Bradley, the absolute strategic masterclass, manages to get ahead, but he's not done yet. Timothy still holds on. The outside line is owned by Timothy, and he has a nose ahead. Is it going to be enough? Bradley gets left out. My goodness, everywhere you look, Ali is back in this, and now he's gotten this position for free. Holy smokes. Josh watching this with his eyes wide open and saying, this is exactly what I needed right now. Everybody battling and nobody caring about me. Timothy really is going to be doing his head in at this point, saying, why do we have to do this, everyone? Let's just settle. No settling whatsoever. There's still 10 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. No one is going to give. Andreas having to be very strategic, and that's the moment. Timothy makes a mistake, pulls to the outside. Not enough. Not enough just yet. Ali, you have to be so careful. You make one wrong move, you go to the inside when you should have been on the out, and that's going to be those 2 positions gone immediately. I don't like this from Bradley. Trying to get aggressive right now, and he's trying to find a position onto Ali, but for what? What does this gain? Well, a position, you might say. Yes, but what does it gain in the long run? In my opinion, not much. Ooh, this is just going to cause some incidents if you're not too careful. Bradley does find the position for now. Is he going to be able to secure it? Ali keeps his nose in the fight right now. Looks like he is going to. It's still not done yet, though, because Ali's getting a good exit. It's so hard to call who is going to be ahead. Ali should be for this next corner, but they're just going to continue side by side. Why the heck not? Oh, I think we're going to have this battle now back underway. Andreas and Timothy back at it again. Timothy ahead, Andreas behind right now, and Andreas has struggled to make overtakes happen. He's had the moves, he's had the opportunities, but he's not been able to get them done. Timothy doing a great job of defending right now. Currently dealing with more pressure than a submarine is Timothy, and I don't mean the sandwich. Andreas, he's the meat in the sandwich right now, and we have a lead change side by side, Ryan and David. And as I predicted, if these two kept squabbling, Daniel is right there to capitalize. Your previous Season 1 MX-5 champion, and now you've allowed him a door in, and not just a door in, he's gained the position over Ryan, and he's going to try to take this one away immediately. He wants to gain the lead, and he wants to walk away with this. David, under pressure right now, your previous second place finisher as well in the MX-5 championships. So this is an old rivalry reunited. In fact, now that I really think about it, this is our top 3. Daniel your previous champion, David. No, Josh is in fourth. Either way, Josh is going to be joining this soon enough. Oh, a snap there from David. That's going to cost him not one, but two positions. Now Ryan leads over Daniel and David being the third place. But look at that. Josh is now involved. We got a four-way fight for the lead and still 7 minutes, heck, call it 8 minutes to go. Back markers getting involved now. Stay out of the way. We're nice and safe. All right, everything's fine. Oh, not quite. I think that was Ali getting involved. No, that was Josh getting involved. Back to the side-by-side trend for Daniel and Ryan, though. I don't think anything going to come of this one. Oh, unless a mistake from Ryan? No, not enough. I'm also just realizing I'm not sure I'm 100% right on the points. Wait. How does Vincent have 1,200? I feel like that's wrong. I think that might be a mistype. Either way. Back to the outside goes Daniel, and I think on this occasion it's going to turn to the inside, and he's going to be able to seal this one up with both hands, and he wants to do it now. He wants to walk away with this one and smile like a Cheshire cat. Brilliant move. Daniel takes the lead of this race, and can Ryan fight back? I don't think he can. I think this is a commanding move from the previous champion. And David is going to have to be the one to show him what's good for. Ryan with a poor exit onto the start-finish straight. Is he crumbling? Are his tires crumbling? Very well could be. But for right now, just keep your head planted on your shoulders and your car facing the right direction. Ryan, don't drive in that rearview mirror. Keep looking ahead right now. You have to be telling yourself that. It's so easy to get deterred in that situation. Let's see. It's checking with Ollie, Bradley, and Timothy. They managed some gap. Man, it's about time. Finally, not at each other's throats. Unlike the lead, Ryan trying to take it back. He's trying to prove me wrong. He says, hold my beer. We're going for a move to the outside. Late onto the brakes, fully committed, sliding through the corner onto the grass, and Ryan might lose a position here if he's not too careful on the exit. Manages to get it back under wraps, and I think he should be okay, but that was a close one. David might be latching onto the bumper now of Ryan and pushing him down this straight. Down we go. Just a few more laps left. And what is it going to come? Ryan under threat. A little jink to the outside from David. No, not yet. I like it though. Just keeping Ryan guessing. Is he going to go for the move? Is he not? Ryan driving in his rearview mirror right now and not focusing on the task at hand, and that task is Daniel. Daniel, though, not walking away like he would have liked to. In fact, this is going to put him in a compromised situation now. Not a great exit on the start-finish straight. The slipstream playing massive roles here, and it's going to be around the outside. Ryan snaps, though, at the apex. He was so close to getting it done, and now he's going to lose a position rather than gain one. One little mistake and cost him massively. Still pushing, pushing, and pushing. Just a few laps left. Ryan in a sandwich. He's it's a double Oreo, or double packed Oreo if you want to call it that. There's two meats. And look at that, they're going to be meeting at an apex potentially. Ryan's going to be trying to make a move on to David. This is going to open up the opportunity for Josh. He slips on by. That's an easy position for him. In fact, he's not going for one. He's not going for two. Is he going for the lead right now? Josh trying to commit to the outside. He's going to get hung out, though, with the slipstream as we get down to the bottom of the straight. It almost turned into gold there briefly, and it still might. Door banging Daniel and David. Josh and Ryan side by side. It's 2x2 Noah's Ark here. We still have 3 laps to go, give or take. My goodness, Josh forced off line. Who is that? That's Ryan that's lost the positions. Okay, we're 3 wide at the apex now. Why the heck not? Josh up into second. Ryan third. Daniel somehow catches the worst end of the stick from all of this, and David is left to lead at the end of this lap, but not for long. Josh fully committed to the outside, and what a brilliant send. Still sticks to the lead now. This is absolutely incredible. In fact, is this going to bring Ali back into it? We still have 2 laps left to go, folks. This could very well hold them up for over 2 seconds, I would say, as Daniel has fallen so far back. Ali, welcome. We're going to have a 5-way fight here at the end of this. Sean, by the way, great job. I want to just give credit where credit's due. He's battling with Mike right now. Both of those two have climbed their way through the order. And yes, it was at the fault of some, but my goodness, what a drive they've had as well. Now David, Josh, who's going to come out on top? Is it going to be Ryan? Is it going to be Ali? I think it's very possible for anyone in the top 5 right now to win at the end of this. We still have 2 laps left to go, 1 long straight, and the slipstream is powerful here. Josh ahead of David. David ahead of Ryan. Ryan ahead of Ali, and Daniel bringing up the rear gunner right now. To the outside, David for the lead of this race. Is he going to commit? Yes. Josh is going to give it up, it looks like. In fact, I don't think Josh wants to lead this lap. Back markers are coming to be involved. I think that's Jacob. And the 58 should be moving out of the way. He does. Very nicely done. Oh, almost. Very close there, but manages. And now, folks, we begin the final lap. 139's being set. Josh trying to take the lead of this race now. To the inside. Oh, and that's a spinner, and Josh, no, he's clipped the line. I don't think there was contact between the 2 cars, but now the winner, the prospect of winning, is done. And look at that, Bradley even gets to wave in the background and say goodbye. Oh, gutting for Josh, but brilliant from David. Ryan also holding on. Ali not quite in the mix right now. It looks like it's a 2-horse race to finish this one, and it's going to be between David and Ryan. Look at the decision making here from Ryan. He has to be very, very patient, and the only real opportunity to win this race is going to come in the chicane. Prioritize your exit. He didn't. He did. How did Ryan get such a good exit? He ran deep there. All right, well, the move is on, but now as soon as you pull out of that slipstream, all of the air are going to be compressing down onto the weight, and your advantage is gone. Doesn't matter. He continues the overspeed. Ryan with the lead into the final few corners, but it's going to be the outside that turns to the inside. Who gets on their left foot later? It's David. Is it too late? No. David manages to secure the apex. He plants himself firmly, and into the final corner complex we go. Ryan, with one last attempt, tries to carry the momentum to the outside. Can he slingshot it back to the end? It's going to be a photo finish, but David's going to take the victory. 33 thousandths over Ryan. Ali finishes in 3rd. Daniel 4th. Timothy in 5th. Bradley 6th. Josh coming up 7th. Andreas 8th. Vincent 9th. Sean in 10th. And rounding out your top 10, a great haul of points here for the new name in the championship, and crosses the line there in 10th. Mike just gained the position over Dylan, so it must have been a mistake at the end there. Dylan finishing in 12th, not where he wanted. Lee 13th. Ahmad, Mr. Consistent, not so much in this race, 14th position. Brian 15th. Mark 16th. Frankie coming home in 17th. Hayden in 18th. Ray in 19th. Jacob finding the barrier in 20th. And Ethan going to be rounding out 21st position, last but certainly not least. My goodness, folks, what a race. What a debut for some, and what a way to start this MX-5 Season 2 championship here at World of Racing. Absolutely incredible. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We will be back. It'll be a brief little intermission, and then we're going to be back for race 2 as we get ready to head over to Brands Hatch, another track that, if you don't know, this is maybe one of the best MX-5 tracks we're going to be seeing. Brands Hatch, one of my favorites. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in 10.